Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello my dear friends, this is Dr. Hoda. Today is an English lesson. Inshallah we are going to read a very interesting story called Yonder Mountain from Journeys volume 3.1. Let's start. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. بسم الله. The title of our story today is called Yonder Mountain, a Cherokee legend by Robert H.Bushhead, illustrated by Rodanas. Essential question: how might people change after facing a challenge? Meet the illustrator, Robert H.Bushhead. Yonder Mountain is a story that was passed down in the Bushhead family. Robert Bushhead grew speaking the Cherokee language, a language so beautiful that he once compared it to the sound of a water flowing. He worked to record the language so future generations could enjoy its beauty as much as he does. Meet the illustrator, Rodanas. Rodanas used watercolors, pastels, and colored pencils to create her illustrations. After reading one of Rodanas' books, a student once wrote her a letter saying, "I can still see the pictures in my mind long after I close the book." Target vocabulary: examined, peak, fondly, steep, rugged, missed, posing, pleaded. Target skill: compare and contrast. Tell how details or ideas are alike and different. Target strategy: analyze or evaluate. Think about what you read, then form an opinion about it. Genre: a legend. A legend is a very old and popular story that may be true. After you read Yonder Mountain, tell in your own words the author's theme or most important idea. Cheif Sky has grown too old to lead his people, and he's looking for someone to replace him. What is he looking for in a new chief? Find out by reading this Cherokee folktale. Once in the land of Cherokee people, there lived a beloved chief called Sky. Cheif Sky had seen many summers and winters. He had led his people through long seasons of peace. He had seen their warriors go through great battles with enemies. But now, his step was slow and his hand trembled on the bow. He could no longer spot brother deer among the trees. He was no longer able to lead his people. One day, in the season of falling leaves, the chief called 3 young men to him and said, "One of you will take my place and become chief and lead our people. But first, I must put you to the test." Cheif Sky turned slowly, looking into the distance. "Do you see Yonder Mountain?" Yonder means very far, okay? Stop and think, compare and contrast. What is the same about Cheif Sky long ago and today? What is different? Why does he think one of the young men should replace him? The 3 young men followed the gaze of their chief and saw a great mountain rising out of the mist in the distance. "Yes," they answered, "we see the mountain." Cheif Sky pointed toward the highest peak. "I want you to go to the mountain top. Bring back to me what you find there." The first young man, called Black Bear, quickly started up the side of the mountain. After the sun reached the middle of the day, Black Bear came to a wide place in the trail where he stopped to rest. He leaned his head upon a rock and his eyes grew heavy. Just as his eyes were closing, he caught sight of 1,000 lights twinkling in the sun. Black Bear sat up straight and saw stones of great beauty lining each side of the trail. They sparkled and glowed in the sunlight. Black Bear examined the stone Black Bear examined the stone carefully, turning it over and over in his hand, and watching the sun dance on each surface. "If my people had these stones, they would never be hungry again," he said. "We could trade them for food and our lives would be better." Black Bear gathered many sparkling stones and ran down the mountain and back to his village. The people saw him coming and lined the path as he entered the village. The children pointed to the sparkling stones and said, "See the pretty stones Black Bear has found." Black Bear handed the stones to Cheif Sky and said, "My chief, look what I have found, beautiful stones. We can trade them for food and will never go hungry. We will be safe through many winters." The chief smiled fondly upon the young man and said, "You have done well, my son, you have done well. Let us now wait for the others." The second young man, called Grey Wolf, climbed the mountain and went past the place of the sparkling stones. He climbed higher and higher. The trail became steep and rugged. Finally, he came to an open place where he rested beside the trail. He picked an herb, looking closely at its pointed leaves and long roots. "These are the healing plants of our medicine man," he said. "If my people have these herbs and roots, they will no longer be sick and suffer. We could be healed with these plants." Grey Wolf gathered one of each of the plants and hurried down the mountain. The people saw him coming and lined the pathway. The children waved and the elders said, "See all the herbs Grey Wolf has found. We will never be sick again." Grey Wolf ran to his chief and spread the plants before him. "Look, my chief, what I have found. We no longer need to suffer. I have found all kinds of herbs and we can be healed." The old chief smiled fondly on Grey Wolf and said, "You have done well, my son, you have done well. Now let us wait for Soaring Eagle, our last young man." Analyze or evaluate. Who do you think has done better so far? Grey Wolf or Black Bear? Which young man would you pick as chief? Why? They waited. Days went by and Soaring Eagle did not return. Still the village waited. After 6 days the people began to murmur. Something must have happened to Soaring Eagle. Why wait any longer? But Cheif Sky said to his people, "We will wait 1 day longer," and so they waited. On the 7th day, as the sun cast its long shadow over the village, the people saw Soaring Eagle coming. He stumbled with bleeding feet. His clothes were ripped and torn. He held nothing in his hands. The people were quiet as Soaring Eagle fell at the feet of his chief. Soaring Eagle spoke softly to Cheif Sky. "I went to the top of the mountain, my chief, but I bring back nothing in my hands. I passed a place where there were sparkling stones, but I remembered you said go to the top of the mountain. I passed a place where all sorts of herbs grew, but I remembered your words. The path was rough. There were great cliffs and sharp rocks. I have nothing in my hands to show you, but I bring back a story from the top of the mountain." The old chief put his hands on the shoulder of the young man. "Tell us your story, my son." Soaring Eagle began. "As I stood on Yonder Mountain and looked across the valley and beyond the farthest mountain, I saw a smoke signal. It was a signal calling for help. The signal said, 'We are dying,' and then, 'Come and help us.' Soaring Eagle rose to his feet. 'Cheif Sky,' he pleaded, 'we need to go to them quickly. They are in trouble.' Cheif Sky stood straight before his people and the 3 young men, pausing for a time. He lifted his eyes to the mountains and watched the mist settle on the peaks. He then turned to his people and spoke. 'We need a leader who has climbed to the top of the mountain. We need one who has seen beyond the mountain to other people who are in need.' The people watched as Cheif Sky carefully began to remove his robe. He turned to face Soaring Eagle. 'You, my son, shall wear the chief's robe,' the beloved old leader declared. Cheif Sky placed the robe over the torn clothing of the chosen young man. 'You shall be our next chief, Soaring Eagle. You will lead our people and help those in need. Yes, you will be our chief and help us climb Yonder Mountain.'" Stop and think. Author's craft. Why do you think Cheif Sky gives the robes to Soaring Eagle? What does the robe stand for? And now it's your turn. Great leaders, write a paragraph What makes someone a great leader? Write a paragraph that describes the qualities that Cheif Sky thinks a leader should have. Then, tell what qualities you think are important in a leader. Yonder Mountain. Draw a map. Think about the journey of the 3 young men who climbed Yonder Mountain. With a partner, draw a map of the mountain showing the places where each young man stopped. Add simple pictures, labels, and a title to your map. Draw a map. Think about the journey of the 3 young men who climbed Yonder Mountain. With a partner, draw a map of the mountain showing the places where each young man stopped. Add simple pictures, labels, and a title to your map. Turn and talk. Choose a chief. Black bear, gray wolf, and soaring eagle. Each made a different discovery. With a partner, compare and contrast their finds. How would you rank them? If you had been Cheif Sky, which young man would you have chosen to be chief? And now we've come to the end of our story today. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share our videos with your friends. Thank you. Bye, dear. Bye.